Music gives a soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and life to everything. 2,500 years after Plato said that, it seems he is still right. Music is something that unites the human family, a language which anyone can understand. The shorthand of emotion, as Tolstoy put it. But like any feeling, thought, or purpose, music must be preserved if it is to survive. For music to reach us, it must be stored, recorded, remembered, and cataloged in a library, just like this. Strength, beauty, character, Florida State University. Originally the Florida State College for Women, it became co-ed in 1947 and has a long and prestigious history. A specific and noteworthy part of that history can be found here at the Florida State College of Music. The College of Music dates back to the turn of the 20th century in 1900, when one teacher at the Florida State College for Women began teaching both vocal and instrumental music. 11 years later, the school had 6 faculty members, and the first bachelor's degree in music was awarded by vote of the faculty. In that same year, Ella Scoble-Opperman became director of the school. Ella Opperman was destined for a life of music from the very start. She began school at the age of 5, and about the same time began to study piano under her Aunt Laura. Ella made her first public appearance as a pianist at the age of 8, when she played at the Seymour, Indiana Opera House. Unsurprisingly, she was one of the youngest persons ever to graduate from the Aurora, Indiana High School. Entering Wesleyan College in Cincinnati, she received her diploma and degree in piano at the age of 16. She later received an artist diploma in piano and the Master of Music degree from the Cincinnati Conservatory of Music. Miss Opperman then studied in Berlin and Paris under the tutelage of many masters of the craft. She was appointed director of the School of Music at the Florida State College for Women in 1911 and was made the dean in 1920, serving in that capacity until her retirement in 1944. During the tenure of Miss Opperman, many bold and dynamic changes were made to the curriculum, and many additions to the college's collections were acquired. It was under her jurisdiction that the first Glee Club recitals were held, the first courses in composition and therapy were added, and the National Association for Schools of Music listed the college as one of 13 schools with outstanding music library holdings. That public listing in 1935 was a great step forward for the School of Music, and only a year later, the Carnegie Corporation donated specialized equipment and many valuable books to the library's already renowned holdings. In 1944, when Miss Opperman retired from her position as dean, she was replaced by Carl Otto Kirsteiner, who transferred from the University of Kansas. Kirsteiner had studied under Bruno Walter and Felix Weingartner at the Mozarteum Academy in Salzburg, Germany, and at the Royal Academy in Budapest. When the Second World War ended in 1945, student enrollment increased substantially under Kirsteiner, and within 4 years, the College of Music was moved into a brand new building, now named for Kirsteiner himself. The college also became co-ed during the same year, and the College for Women became the Florida State University. The new music building was very expensive to build, even in those days, and construction lasted 4 years before completion in 1949. Additionally, during the same year as those other monumental changes, the college received a new faculty member in the person of Warren Dwight Allen, a celebrated organist and music critic who was made a professor of music history and literature. And here we come to the crux of this presentation. After Dr. Allen retired from his position in 1956, the college's music library was renamed in his honor on the order of the University Board of Control. The College of Music Library has existed since the school's inception in 1911, but had always done so anonymously, as it were. The original collection was housed in Dodd Hall with the rest of the university library's collection until a specific space could be acquired. Even in 1949, before the historic move to the Kirsteiner building, the music library amounted to just 5 small listening rooms and a general collection space. But after Dr. Allen's retirement, the Warren D. Allen Music Library was born, and its already impressive collection began to truly blossom.
In 1956, the same year as Allen's retirement, the library's working collection increased substantially with the acquisition of the Olin Downs collection, a noted music critic and music editor of the New York Times. 10 years later, Carl Kirsteiner stepped down as dean, returning to the role of professor. He was succeeded by Dean Wiley Lee Housewright in 1966.
By 1969, the music library had outgrown its space in the Kirsteiner Music Building and moved to a temporary location next to the school. And in 1971, moved to the basement of the nearby Longmire Alumni Building. The library's collection would remain in this location for 8 years while a new building was being constructed. Once it was finished in 1979, the Warren D. Allen Music Library moved to its present location in the building that would later be named after Dean Housewright, who retired that same year. The long and distinguished history of the College of Music is reflected in the music library's collection. The library's holdings include many publications by members of the college's faculty, as well as major donations of personal collections and estate bequests from library friends.
Of particular interest, the library houses a significant collection of letters, papers, and recordings by former faculty members Erno Dochnani and Edward Killenny Jr. The late Dr. John Boda also donated a significant collection of his manuscripts and published compositions, and former Dean Wiley L. Housewright left the library many of his notes and rare books and scores from his personal collection. Today, the Warren D. Allen Library continues to serve both patrons and professors alike, even in these troubled times, with an excellent team of full-time library staff and OPS employees. We work tirelessly to create an environment where our college friends and family can feel comfortable, welcome, and inspired. We hope you'll join us here sometime soon as we continue into the next chapter of this distinguished story.